You attacked Earth, our home, our cradle. Billions of voices silenced in a heartbeat. The galaxy laughed at our rules of war. Pacifist fools, they called us, ritualistic weaklings. But when you crossed that line, we didn't just fight back. We unleashed. Hell, no mercy, no hesitation, just raw, unified human rage. And now, the stars themselves are afraid. Stick around, because what happened next will chill your soul. If stories of humans outsmarting cosmic bullies, get your blood-pumping smash that subscribe button right now. You won't want to miss how we turned the tide. And trust me, the galaxy's still reeling. If you'd like to share your story with our channel, please send it via the email link in the description. I remember the day it all shattered. I was on Mars colony, buried in reports about fusion drives and terraforming yields. Then the alerts hit, like a gut punch from God himself. Alarms blaring, screens lighting up red, incoming fleet unknown origin, hostile signatures, the Raxum Dominion, lizard-like bastards with scales that gleamed like oil slicks under their sun. They'd probed our borders for months, sniffing like wolves at a wounded deer. We offered talks, trade routes, even shared our warp tech blueprints. Idiots that we were, but peace? Nah. They saw our rules of war as a joke. No preemptive strikes, no planet killers, no glassing worlds, pacifist relics from a species too soft to survive the void. So they struck first, hard. Their armada dropped out of hyperspace like demons from hell. 500 cruisers each, a dagger of plasma, and spite Earth? We weren't ready. Not fully. Our defenses were spread thin colonies bickering over resources like kids in a sandbox, Beijing vaporized in seconds New York. A glowing crater. The death toll climbed. 10 million 20. 100,000 wasn't even the start. It was the spark I watched from the colony feeds as families clawed at the sky, screaming for mercy that never came. My own wife gone, twisted metal where our home stood, that rage. It didn't break me. It forged me. What if this was real? What if aliens hit your city tomorrow? Your kids, your world, gone. Would you beg or burn? Earth's leaders patched in from bunkers. President Hale's face was ash gray, but her eyes? Steel. No more divisions, she growled. Unify or die. Companies, nations, hell, even the cartels, fell in line. Factories churned day and night. Sleeper ships retrofitted into rams. Every nuke we had, strapped to asteroids. We weren't just fighting. We were evolving, from fractured apes to a single snarling beast. They thought it was over. Our fleet scattered our home in ruins, but they forgot one thing: humans don't quit. We adapt. And boy, did we adapt. That was Arc 1, the breaking. The galaxy's superior empires watched from their ivory towers, chuckling at our funeral. The union of civilizations, 50 races, a bloated bureaucracy of peace treaties and tea parties, debated sanctions, barbaric primitives, they sneered. Let the Raxum teach them humility. But humility? We had none left. Only Fire Arc 2 hit like a supernova. Our counterstrike, I was on the Vengeance, a refitted hauler turned battering ram, hurtling toward Raxum Space Captain Ruiz, tough as neutronium with tattoos of fallen comrades snaking up her arms, gripped the helm. For Earth, she whispered. We weren't alone. A swarm of us. Stealth drones laced with virus code suicide shuttles packed with volunteers. Kids barely out of academy saying goodbyes via holovid. Tell Mom I love her. This is for the hatchlings they never let live. Sacrifice. That's human DNA. We don't just die for kings. We die for each other. For the family huddled in a basement praying the sky doesn't fall. The Raxum had nursery worlds, dozens of them, fragile orbs teeming with eggs, their future generations bubbling in geothermal pools, sacred ground untouchable by their codes. But ours? They glassed ours without a blink, so we returned the favor. No warnings, no demands, just precision. Hell, our first wave slipped through their pickets like ghosts. Asteroids slung from slingshots in the Kuiper Belt slammed into their atmospheres, each one a dirty bomb of cobalt and fury. Worlds cracked open like eggshells. I saw it on the scopes. Planet Vex 7, their crown jewel, a billion eggs poof. Ash generations culled before they hatched. The Raxum fleet panicked broadcasting. Surrender frequencies. Too late. We hit 24 in total. Scorched Earth on a stellar scale. From the alien bridges, I imagine it was terror. A Raxum admiral, claws trembling over his console, hissing to his XO. These mammals, they fight without honor. Without end. Confusion twisted into fear. How could weaklings, with their silly rules, summon such savagery? We'd horrified them. Not with tech. They outgunned us 10 to 1, but with heart, with the kind of rage that comes from losing everything. And realizing you still have more to give, what if you lost it all? Would you glass a world to sleep at night, or is that the line we never cross? Hang on. The diplomats were next. And trust me, that's where it got personal. Arc 3. The Reckoning. Months later, I stood in the Union's Grand Hall on Nexus Prime, a cavern of crystal spires echoing with the murmurs of empires. They fidgeted in their seats, feathered a very silicon-based croth, even the smug silicon overlords who'd signed our death. Warrants in ink. Me, Earth's ambassador, fresh scars on my knuckles from punching a bulkhead when the news of my wife's pod hit face like granite. No smiles, just the weight of a unified humanity behind me. The chairman, a bloated Raxum elder his, scales dulled by grief, cleared his throat. Greetings, Ambassador Kane. On this momentous day, the Terran Empire joins our union. He waved a treaty, all pomp and protocol, signatures flowed like reluctant blood, half-hearted toasts, grudging nods until it hit the hothead of Raxum delegate, eyes like boiling tar, snatched the dock and hurled it to the floor. How dare we welcome these barbarians? He snarled, claws slashing air. 24 nursery worlds, ash cinders, generations slaughtered, broods, culled in their shells. The hall froze. Whispers turned to gasps. He jabbed a talon at me. A few 100,000 of your kind at most. But you apes committed genocide. Under your own rules of war, you'd hang for this. I didn't flinch, didn't raise my voice. Just leaned in, slow, deliberate. You attacked Earth. Simple words, but they landed like nukes. His snout twitched, the room shrank. I stepped closer, knuckles whitening on the table. We extended peace. You spat, you attacked Earth. He recoiled. Chair scraping like bones on gravel. I picked up the treaty, slammed it down. Flinches rippled through the crowd. Our rules, born from our blood, we've genocided our own enslaved brothers, torched cities for spite. Those laws chain our demons, keep us from eating ourselves alive. But you, hostile alien, no clauses for invaders who burn our cradle. My voice cracked then, not with weakness but fury, the kind that simmers for generations. Before you, we warred among shadows, nations clawing planets. Companies bleeding us dry. Then you united us. Tribalism, dead now. One human race, outraged unbound. All that anger, aimed at your precious union? I shoved the treaty under his trembling claws. Sign, or find out why we need those chains, he broke. Signed with a whimper, I tucked the dock away. Good day, gentlemen, door hissed, shut behind me. They thought that was the end. But beasts like us, we don't stop at treaties, we conquer. And that's when the twist hit. The real underdog gut punch, not brute force, though we had that in spades. No, it was our minds. While they rebuilt fleets on fear, we wove shadows. Sleeper agents in their ports, viruses in their nets. Not code, but memes. Human stories, videos of our resilience. See what we endure. Imagine what we unleash. Their young started questioning, Why fight the unbreakable? The Raxum pushed back. Last gasp, a do-or-die assault on Sol 10,000 ships. We met them with scraps. Jury-rigged miners turned minefields, families piloting. Decoys. But the reversal? Our rules flipped. We broadcasted every atrocity, theirs, live galaxy-wide, proof. Undeniable unity, fractured their ranks. Crews mutinied, admirals defected. Better the devils we chain than the ones we free. In the end, their flagship cracked like an egg. Ruiz's vengeance rammed it core first. I watched from the hall feeds as the Union crumbled, not to our guns, to our truth. We didn't conquer with ships, we infected with spirit earned. Hell yes, every scar, every ghost. Payment, in full humanity. The virus they can't vaccinate. We're unique U.S. humans. Restraint isn't weakness. It's the cage for our storm. Push us, and we don't just survive. We redefine the game resilience, unity in chaos, or that wild spark of madness that turns victims to victors? What do you think? Our greatest strength or the galaxy's worst nightmare? Ponder that. This was the clash that humbled stars. But in our universe, the fight's eternal humans don't kneel. We rise if that fired you up, drop. A like, subscribe for more HFY epics where we outwit the cosmos, and comments below. Could you sign that treaty or unleash the beast? What's humanity's real edge, smarts or sheer grit? Let's debate. See you in the next war.